Welcome to this week's lesson, Business Idea Generation. So some of you will already have this, but we'll to skip it. But for those of you who don't, how do you come up with a business idea? Like, even if you're starting something from scratch, even if you're looking to pivot into something, how do you find an idea that can become successful? Well, the first thing to look for in any business idea is it something I like to do time? Because like I mentioned in earlier lessons, like you've got to have a passion for what it is that you're working on. I don't have a passion for it's going really old, really. So let's look around. So think of something you're passionate about, and then look at the problems that need solved. Surround it. I mean, I know this sheet behind me, this slide behind me, is pretty simplistic. I'll identify problems and then develop solutions people are willing to pay for, but that's really it. So something you're passionate about that has a problem common that hasn't been solved yet. How do you find that? The key is to talk to people. Like, what are the pain points and frustrations in life that you go through? Okay, so I'll use real estate agents as an example. So again, I've got experience coaching real estate agents, and the problem a lot of people have real estate agents is that they don't answer their phones, they don't get back to me on time, and they're really kind of untrustworthy. So how can we solve those kind of pain points if we start statements? What problems do people that are buying or selling a house have that you could solve in a way to the rest of the market? Well, I don't have like talking to people. A lot of the time, entrepreneurs come up with an idea in their head, go, "This is great, I'm running with it," and they haven't done the homework of have I talked to anybody about this? Have I polled? Have I done any market research whatsoever? Because if you reached out to 20 different people and all of them said, "Oh no, my real estate agent was great, no problems whatsoever," then maybe your idea isn't a good fit. So once you have the idea, once you look around and go, "Hey, this looks like a problem that needs to be solving," it's very important that you think about this from your own perspective, but also from the perspective of the people around you, people you serve. So if your ideal client isn't suffering this problem, but a bunch of other people are, then is it a problem that you want to solve? Because again, with business, you've got to be passionate about what you're doing. You've got to enjoy the work. This is going to be your life. It's your livelihood. It's what you spend every day doing until one day magically you end up on a beach. In the meantime, between here where you're at and getting to the beach, you still have to perform, you still have to work. So when you're having an idea for your business, you've got to base it around stuff that you love to do. Now, if you love going and looking at houses and saying, "Ooh, this with the house, or you paint it that way," yes, and maybe selling real estate is good for you. And you could start to look at the frustrations that buyers and sellers have with houses. Okay, maybe I don't know. Maybe you want to open a restaurant. Well, what are some things that your restaurant can do differently than the restaurants around? Go on Google reviews. Look at the reviews of the restaurants around you. The 1 star. What do people not like about restaurants? What problems, what frustrations do people have with specific business? So, are you passionate about that business? Are you passionate about the serving or pay? Because if you're not passionate about it, it's not. Yeah. But we want to look for frustrations and problems in those specific market. So, and we do that by observing what's going on, by watching what's going on, by listening to feed them directly. So go and look up on Google 15 different competitors or people doing the same stuff with facility, whatever it may be. Look up and say, what are the positive reviews on this business? What do people like about the negative review? Is there a common problem that you can see? Like, is there a gap in the market there that isn't being addressed? And you find there is. And you're going to take that and turn that into your unique selling. And then that snowballs then into your minimum viable. But it starts with, is there a gap in the market? Is there a common problem these people are facing you can solve that hasn't been? Because if you find that, right, it's like swimming in a blue ocean. If you just jump in and do the same stuff that everybody else is doing, you're swimming in an ocean full of blood and it's all red. So all the sharks are all fighting fish. But if you can find a problem within that industry that's not being addressed and you jump in and address that, all the sharks over here can fight over that. Fighting. And you can swim over here in your own ocean by yourself and you go profits and all. So, like, you have to be passionate about what you do. Like, if you're not, then forget it. So, what hobbies do you have? Right? Try to think of. Let me change the slide. There we go. What hobbies do you have? Like, if you can combine what you love and what you're good at, then it's a much more likely story that you're going to succeed. And again, this is starting a business from scratch, right? We're starting something from the ground up. I'm not talking about going and buying a coin-operated laundromat that, you know, hire somebody to run. I'm talking about something, you're a small business owner. Right now, you're probably the technician, you're probably the operator, you're probably the visionary, in charge of marketing, you're probably in charge of sales, all of it, right? And so it's critical that you love what you do. So I'm thinking, what are my hobbies? What area of life am I good at? What do I enjoy doing? Like, for me, it's computers, it's programming, it's building stuff, it's generating websites. It's like, I like being quiet, believe it or not, all the time on a microphone. But I like being quiet. I like building systems. I like looking at data. I like finding patterns. I like filling in gaps. I like using my brain. Like, I like being left alone. I like spreadsheets, right? So my business, like, and not this coaching I do, like my business. Let me pull up my company. So my business, like, this is what I do. Like, I build structure for small businesses, complete digital ecosystems, put together operating procedures, CRM systems. You know how complicated it is to build like a fully integrated CRM system. It's amazing. I love doing it. It's really complex and I'm passionate about it. I enjoy it. Marketing, like building out strategies for marketing and scripting commercials and getting language right and looking at the audience and figuring out the demographics and all that stuff. I love to do this. So when you see here a small business surgeon, right, it looks really complicated and boring to you. Like, to me, this is playing. Like, I love this stuff. I fucking love it. What do you want to do every day when you wake up? Stuff I love. So when you're trying to generate business ideas, be selfish. Make it about the things that you love to do, right? And then everything flows so much easier. I get up and go to work every day to work on spreadsheets and work on data analysis and use my AI postgrad and all that stuff. And I love doing it. And so I don't need to drag myself out of bed. Like, I get to help people, I get to impact them, I get to serve their businesses. And you see the passion. I mean, it's right here in my voice. I get to wake up and do the things I love to do every day, all because I built a business around what I'm passionate about doing and enjoy. So it could be like fitness. Like, maybe you're passionate about fitness, but you're stuck working in a bank. Well, keep your job in the bank, but why not look at building a fitness business, maybe selling supplements, maybe selling coaching? Why not look at building a fitness business and start you a side project, start your company, keep your job, like I said in the earlier video, and do something you love to do. Like if you love cooking, you want to start a food truck, that's fine. But maybe put together a blog first. Maybe do some catering projects first, stuff like that. Like you can test this stuff out, right, and not risk everything and not bet the farm, right? But you've got to be passionate when you make a business idea. You just have to. Next is use tools. Like use tools to see if there's a market that exists for your product in the area, right? You know, are you going to be able to do a vegan restaurant in a small town of 3,000 people in East Texas? Probably not, right? Use Google. Use there's so many great websites. One I like is answerthepublic.com. It's a paid site, but I should have pulled it up for you guys. But there's so many different sites that you can use for market research. But do some research and see what your competition looks like, and see if there's people out there that are doing the things that you. Here it is, answerthepublic.com. So you can, again, I got a free version. So you enter anything to put in house painting. That's what I like to use, for example. Hit search, and this will tell you what people are looking for. It will tell you, like, it will answer all these questions about house painting. And again, this is a great tool if you pay paid version. And if I was doing market research, I would certainly pay for it. I don't have an I'm not tied to these guys. It's just a great tool. You can see what people are searching for based on Google searches and how much they're paying to advertise on any specific platform, average price per click. You can see the search volume, how many search for that this month. Obviously, the data in there goes a lot bigger. I'm going to do a short for this, but what I'm getting at is when you're doing this, do your market research and see if you can find any trends that are starting to trend up that align with the things you're wanting to do. So again, if it's personal training, maybe boot camps are trending this year. Maybe instead of one-on-one coaching, look at how do I keep my job in the bank and do my day job and then run a fitness boot camp at 5 o'clock in the morning. I bet you can do it if you tried, right? So there's all kinds of things that you can do that will align with your passions. Check out what's trending. Check out what people are talking about, are asking for. And that's how you find the problems you're going to solve. Yeah. And so by doing that, you can find little niches and unmet demands that you can lean in on. So before you start stuff, though, again, I'm going to move my thing here because I might slide up. Before you start stuff, you've got to make sure there's demand, like to pay. And so, the way to do that is to ask people. And when you ask people, they all say yes. So don't be asking, like ask people that are relative strangers. Ask on the internet. You can use surveys for this, Facebook surveys to survey inside of Facebook groups and stuff like that. Landing pages, pre-sale pages. Um, that's that's a that's a really good lesson that God, I can't remember who teaches it now. But it's one that you take to heart because a lot of people say, oh well, I can't start a business because, and they list off X, Y, Z, A, B, C, all these reasons they can't start a business. And in reality, in order to gauge interest, I'm assuming you've got a Facebook account, assuming you need to build a landing page and to reach out. Um, there's nothing in this course about building a page. That's a highly separate skill set. But if you set up a survey page, if you set up a landing page and pre-sold your item to where they go, hey, this is launching on August 1st, fill out your information now to get your free whatever, this and that. It's a way to gauge interest. If you run, let's say you run $200 worth of Facebook ads to that specific page and 10 people sign up, you're like, well, hey, this cost me $20 a sign up service. And so I'm paying $20 a lead, this obviously. So when you're generating a business idea, you can test these out relatively inexpensively. And you don't need to go and get 100 t-shirts made to sell a t-shirt. You need to develop an image of a t-shirt, put a landing page up, say, come in August 1st, reserve your free t-shirt, or reserve your t-shirt now, or whatever it is. And you can test that before you ever go make a t-shirt. There's no need to spend a bunch of money getting inventory, stock, all this stuff set up, because you can go and build out a landing page and say, does this work, and validate it time in the marketplace. So when you're generating business ideas, thinking about what it is that you do, be sure again that it's in line with something you love to do anyway, because you're going to be doing it all day, every day, right? And when you've got your idea, go and research it on Google, go and research it on Answer the Public, go and read any number of research sites, and then generate a survey or a landing page, pre-sale page, or something, so you can gauge interest from the marketplace in real time. And that's very important. Right. So for your homework, right, look at the quiz, the worksheet that is in. But brainstorm some ideas. Write out some things that you're interested in, and let's look and see as a way to find some different problems that you can solve this week, and figure out which of those is going to work specifically. All right, that's going to do it for this week's lesson. You'll be sure and introduce yourself in the forums if you haven't already. Use the forums. It's there for you. It's where we can answer questions during a week. Excuse me. And sign up for the Q&As. Make sure I see you in there and I answer the questions you got. All right, that's going to do it for me. I'll see you in the next video.